Welcome to Mishna. Studying Masechet Eruvin Perek Mishnah Dalet. Over here in this Mishnah, I'm going to discuss if a public road cuts through your Erub. So you built this paseb biraot around this be'er, around this a well of water, and now the road is cutting through. Does that break your Erub? Does that nullify it? So Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Imayta derech Rabim mafsekata. Right? If you have the road cutting through your paseb biraot, meaning you should push the road around the side. Right? It doesn't annul your eruv, but you just need to go ahead and push the road around. But Chamim say you don't have to. Let the people pass through. That's fine. Now the Mishnah continues. Another machloket. When are we allowed to make these paseb biraot? Right? These boards around the be'er. It's talking about firstly, most simple case is a public be'er, a public well. Also, a public cistern, right? A bore is a cistern where the water is not, constantly flowing. It's just still water, like in a pit, in a cistern. Again, if it's public, that's okay. Or a be'er yachid, which is a private well. All these three, you're allowed to go ahead and you're allowed to go ahead and build this makeshift, eruv, which we call it paseb biraot. All these are but not for what? The one case that's missing, a private cistern. You have a private cistern, you cannot build paseb biraot around it. What would you have to do in that case? You have to make a real mechitza, a real eruv of 10 tefachim high going around, and you can't have, you have to have, more coverage than open area, like we all mentioned. All this is according to Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yehuda argues, the only time you're allowed to do paseb biraot is for one type, and that is a public well, right? So it needs to be public and it needs to be running water, right? Flowing water, a spring, a well. The others, you need to go ahead and make a belt going around, meaning a mechitza, 10 tefachim high. Good. That's our Mishnah. I just want to point out a couple of things. That is, Rambam brings down a couple of conditions for these paseb biraot. When are we allowed to go ahead and do so? When are we allowed to go ahead and build this? So he mentions three conditions. One is it needs to be, like we mentioned, it has to be running water, right? Can't be still water, it can't be, a cistern, it needs to be the be'er, right? It needs to be the well. Halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, right? It's like Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava over here, so the only time you can do it is if it's a public, one, it has to be the public, two, it has to be running water of a well, and three, it needs to be in Eretz Yisrael, right? It's a special kula, Chamim Makel, because of the Oleh Regalim, because the people are coming up for the Regel, and but only for the animals of the Oleh Regalim. Now, additionally, if a person, wants to go ahead and give his animals to drink, it's only the animals that can't drink, on their own. So you have to draw water for them. That's when this is allowed, right? But if not, if the animals can drink on their own, then you have to build a regular mechitza. Right? It's not enough you can't just do this. It's not, this kula wouldn't apply. Similarly, for a person also can't go ahead and drink water, from this well and draw water on his own. Right? This kula is only specifically for his animals, right? Interestingly enough, unless the well is so big that the person can't even get down there. Like even if he was to climb and have both his feet on both sides of the well, he wouldn't be able to reach, right? It would be too big, he couldn't get down there. Then he's also allowed to go ahead and draw water and use these paseb biraot as his eruv.